What you didn't see in the MacGyver episode was Carrie and Grant's repeat flights in real ultralights.
I want to test the wings, the aerodynamics, the physics. I want to see how much the wings themselves are responsible for keeping the ultralight in the air. So for my test, I want to go up to about 1,000 feet, cut off the engine, and land. It seems a little scary to me in theory, but I think it's going to give me the information I need to build wings.
Carrie wants to know if a real ultralight has any chance of at least gliding to safety. Carrie lands safely. Now it's Grant's turn to test whether Mac's tiny engine could at least have sustained flight.
Now, the second part of our test is to see what happens after the MacGyver Ultralight goes off the cliff. And what happens in the show is he goes off, kind of goes down, noses back up, and continues stable flight. And the question is whether 9 horsepower will be enough to maintain flight, or whether the plane will actually just be in a steady downward fly.
They use a lot more than 9 horsepower for liftoff, but once Grant and his pilot are well and truly airborne, they pull back on the power to fit the myth.
Okay, Brian, so this is test number 2. We're at an altitude of 800 feet. We're going to throttle down the engine so it's the equivalent of 9 horsepower. Here we go. We definitely don't feel like we're getting any lift, and actually our instruments are confirming that we're dropping at a rate of 200 feet per minute. So I think it's probably going to be a pretty short flight.
So a short flight later, Grant lands with a strong feeling for how this TV myth might play out.
What we noticed is that, unfortunately, the plane started to slowly glide down at a rate of 200 feet per minute. So you don't have enough to sustain flight, and probably what you're going to need is either a very tall cliff or a very short escape distance to get away from the bad guys.
Still, neither Grant nor Carrie knew for sure just how this myth would pan out. And maybe that's just as well.